There are 5 common objections that you're going to hear in your practice from chiropractic patients. If you have a prepared, confident, and empathetic response to all 5, you'll have a hard time finding a patient objection that ever stumps you again. I'm Dr. Dustin Scott. I run a 7-figure chiropractic practice in Central Iowa, and in my spare time, I help other chiropractic clinic owners scale their impact and bring more value to their communities. Today, we're going over what each of the 5 objections are and how elite chiropractors respond back. Real quick, before we dive in, I put together a free KPI stat sheet specifically for chiropractic practices, new patients per week, patient visit average, and more, all in one ready-to-use spreadsheet. This is the exact stat sheet my receptionist fills out and that I review in my own practice every week. If you don't know your numbers, your business is just a guessing game. Link is at the top of the description. Sign up, confirm your email, and it's yours. First objection, I need to think about it. That is going to be one of the most common objections that a chiropractic practice gets if you have not made yourself clear or discovered what the true why is. So I'll have a transition point of understanding. I completely understand that this health decision is a big commitment. Though, can't you remember that playing with your grandchildren or going on vacation in 3 months, that means a lot to you? And how does it feel if your husband has to go hiking on these trails by himself while you have to sit back in the hotel room? So being able to transition and really get back and connected to their why, because ultimately the objection means they don't understand why they're there. Next objection, I can't afford it. So a super common one, I just can't afford it. Ultimately what that's speaking to us is we ultimately know that the value is not being presented yet, or that we're not perceiving the value yet. So a very common typical response and a way and a sample of kind of how I will handle this is just like this. Now I completely understand that when it comes to your health and everything that we've found, there's gonna be a high value that comes with it. So think about it like this. It's not an expense and it's not a cost. So ultimately what we're trying to do here is we're trying to let them truly understand that the value that we have is massively over the price that they're gonna pay. Ask them truly, empathetically, do you think this problem is gonna get better on its own? And would you rather go to the emergency room, have a surgery, or get shots? Because those are gonna cost a lot more and the results are gonna be a lot less, because ultimately they never work and they make things worse. Next one is I need to talk to my spouse. Translation, I want someone to help me say no, or I wanna buy more time. Best case scenario, you're never gonna get in this conversation without someone else's loved one there. If a spouse or a decision maker isn't present, you need to find that out before. So let's play through the hypothetical that of course you did get that response. Now I'm gonna show you and kind of go through what it looks like and how I would handle this myself. Absolutely, I understand that this is a family decision. Of course, your husband or your wife, they help you make health decisions. So this is how we're gonna do it. We can either A, take the phone out right there and ask them, do you think they'll answer? So figure out if they're at work, if they'll answer. I've done this before. You do the FaceTime and you go through and show the x-rays and you show that you're with their wife or their husband and you go through the report. It's worked every time. Or B, if they are busy, you'll go ahead and let them know. Go ahead and go up front. We'll take you and your husband's emails. You'll set up a Zoom call with my office manager and she'll set up the Zoom call for us to go through your report so you, your husband, your wife, your spouse can be there and we can go through the full report together. No stress, no pressure, just to make sure everyone understands what the findings are and what the recommended care is gonna be to get to your goals. Get ahead of it and don't let them get home and have a conversation that you're not a part of. This goes for anybody, whether it be spouses, whether it be parents, whether it be students, all the above. Make sure that you're part of that circle and you're being the leader of health in the scenario. Next objection, I tried chiropractic before and it didn't work. Translation, I'm afraid of being disappointed again. Here's how I would respond to that. And yes, it happens more in my clinic than I would ever imagine. Unfortunately, we have chiropractors who may not be able to adjust the spine and get rid of the fixation or the subluxation in that spine. So I handle it by letting them know. I have went through in my schooling and developed the highest amount of skills clinically and have a Silver's Award honor of recognition when it comes to clinical excellence. Unfortunately, I understand from what you've told me that they weren't able to adjust your hips or they weren't able to move your neck. Like these kind of responses, you just have to be able to have the confidence and let them know that every chiropractor is different, just like every dentist is different, and just like every gym is different. So not everybody is going to be for everybody. Not everything is going to be for everybody. So just getting them comfortable and confident that you do have the confidence and the competence. Our day one, ultimately, I'm already showing them some of the skills because I already have them on the table. So rarely will that objection come up if you're being able to showcase your skills before they even pay for any care. Last objection, I don't know if my insurance covers it. What's the translation? I just need help with the financial clarification. Quick response to that, as soon as any kind of financial objection comes up, I'm immediately shifting and asking them, in terms of price, that is something that typically will never get in the way of our patients and their care. And this is why. Because of the amount of value that this is going to bring when you can go on vacation and have no pain, ultimately, cost is not an objection. But we understand that financials are an existing thing. So we have a very easy and flexible payment option. We're going to get into that, but before we do, we flip the script a little bit and come back to make sure that their commitment from 1 to 10 is at least over a 7 or an 8, right? So before the financial objection, like make sure that they are qualified and actually invested in their health, right? So that's one of the big things is you shift, and like before we get into that, do you see that this is a care that you can actually follow through with, right? Are you serious enough about your health that you can actually follow through with this 4, 6, or 8 months, whatever it is? This objection is not a whole lot different than previous objections when we need to just reestablish why they're there in the first place. Master these 5 objections, and you'll have a hard time finding one that stumps you in the future. Listen and let them lead the discussion. You're there to serve them, not to talk over them. Write these objections down, practice them with your team, your mentor, or your spouse until you have them down cold. You will not regret it.